शाम बड़ी दीवानी, धीरे धीरे बन जाए न कोई कहानी। देखो देखो है शाम बड़ी दीवानी, धीरे धीरे बन जाए न कोई कहानी। दिल भर है, दिलकश है, दिलदार नजारे हैं। आज ज़मीं पर उतरे कितने सितारे हैं।
अगलो होश नमी दानम, हम है दिल है और जानम। बस दीवानगी 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 है, ना कोई रहसन ना रहबर, ये इल्जाम लगे किस पर। बस दीवानगी 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 है।
All hot girls put your hands up and say
ओम शांति
All the cool boys, come on, make some noise and say,
ओम शांति
शाम गज़ब की हंगामा खेज है।
इसका नशा ही गहरा है, तेज है।
शाम गज़ब की हंगामा खेज है।
इसका नशा ही गहरा है, तेज है।
जुल्फ खुली है रेशम रेशम,
सांस खुली है माथा माथा,
ये तो इशारे हैं।
अगलो होश नमी दानम, हम है दिल है और जानम। बस दीवानगी 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 है, ना कोई रहसन ना रहबर, ये इल्जाम लगे किस पर। बस दीवानगी 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 है।
All hot girls put your hands up and say
ओम शांति
All the cool boys, come on, make some noise and say,
ओम शांति
all hot girls put your hands up and say
ओम शांति
all the cool boys, come on, make some noise and say,
ओम शांति
कहने को वैसे तो सारा सुकून है, फिर भी ये दिल है कि इसको जुनून है। कहने को वैसे तो सारा सुकून है, फिर भी ये दिल है कि इसको जुनून है।
पलको ख्वाब सजा दे, इसको उसको सबको बता दे।
राज सारे हैं।
अगलो होश नमी दानम, हम है दिल है और जानम। बस दीवानगी 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 है,
ना कोई रहसन ना रहबर, ये इल्जाम लगे किस पर। बस दीवानगी 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 है। All hot girls put your hands up and say
ओम शांति
All the cool boys, come on, make some noise and say,
ओम शांति
all hot girls put your hands up and say
ओम शांति
car my truck and I don't want
The guy already showed up. No, you're the big shot.
Namaste and hello. Welcome to the FAIA annual event. My name is Sri Ganapati. I work at Fort Credit in the IT department. I'm also the treasurer and webmaster for the Fort Asian Indian Association. FAIA, like it's known, was formed in 1997 and has about 2,000 members worldwide. Now, before we commence tonight's event, I'd like to take this wonderful opportunity and thank all the FAIA volunteers without whom this event would not have been possible. In fact, tonight's event was planned In fact, tonight's event was planned and executed purely on volunteer time and effort. At this time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Amit Singhi. Amit is the North American Material Cost Controller and also the President of the Ford Asian Indian Association. Amit did his undergrad in electrical engineering from the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology in Bombay, India, and also did his master's in electrical engineering and an MBA from the University of Michigan. Amit has been with Ford for about 15 years and has had key finance leadership positions in purchasing, PD, marketing and sales, manufacturing, and FCSD. Wow. Amit loves to golf and also likes to spend time with his family and 2 kids, and currently resides in Farmington Hills, Michigan. Please join me in welcoming Amit Singhi to the podium.
Good evening. Welcome to the Ford Asian Indian Association annual event. First, before we start, I'd like to explain the event of the program this evening. There is a card on your table that outlines the event for the evening. We will first start with our keynote speaker, Mark Fields, followed by a few comments from our corporate sponsor, Derek Cusack. I will then provide a quick update on the association's annual activities, and Nan Kocher, our executive champion, will follow with awards and recognition. We will then follow it with Indian buffet dinner. Buffet just being a fancy French term for pick up your food yourself. After which we have our entertainment program. There are 2 sections to our entertainment this evening. The first one is an executive trivia, which will be fiercely contested by our 3 senior leaders, Paul Mascarenas from the engineering team, Nick Smither from the IT team. There goes the competition. And Bob Shine from the finance team. And all of you. So this is going to be Jeopardy with a twist with audience participation. We're also going to have, after that, a short dance medley highlighting different aspects of Indian dances, from classical to modern, and that will be really enthralling. With that, now let me introduce our chief guest for the evening, Mark Fields. Mark is Executive Vice President for Ford Company and President of the Americas. In this position, he's responsible for all North and South American operations, a position he assumed in October of 2005. Mark has been leading the North American turnaround since late 2005, and we've all witnessed the spectacular results of that effort just earlier this week. When we reported our first quarterly profit in North America since first quarter 2005. It is my great honor and privilege to work for Mark on the North American team, and it is a great honor and pleasure to introduce our guest speaker and chief guest, Mark Fields.
So, how are you tonight? Good. All right. How many glasses of wine have you all had? Right. You know, I have to say, first off, Amit, thank you for inviting me. You know, as I had a chance to kind of meet a lot of you earlier during the cocktail and networking portion of the meeting tonight, a lot of you said, "Gee, we're really glad that you and the other executives took the time to come and spend some time with us tonight." And I got to tell you, from my standpoint, and I speak from my colleague, it's an honor for us to do this. It really is an honor for us to do this because Ford is such a special place. I had a chance. I came back from Brazil this morning, and the passion and the loyalty and the commitment and the sense of community that we all have around the world is just it's just spectacular. I have never seen it in any other brand I've had the opportunity to work with it for it, or folks that I know who work in other companies, etc. But I want you to know it's really an honor for us to come and take part in your annual event. So thank you for inviting me. So how do you feel about the first profit since 2005? And let's say that's a congratulations to all of you and all of your colleagues, because we're all in this together, and it's so gratifying to see after the last 3 or 4 years all of your hard work really starting to pay off. So you should all feel just fantastic about that and savor the moment. Of course, at the same time, not get satisfied, right? Because we've got a lot of tough competitors out there, but we are really on the right track. And keeping that sense of urgency and that sense of purpose is really, really going to serve us well over the months and years ahead. But for me, as I said, it's a really great honor to come and celebrate the Asian Indian Association, and really to thank you and all of your members for what you do for our company. And as I understand it, you're 2,000 members strong. That is pretty amazing. And you represent Ford around the world. You're strong partners, and you're helping to strengthen not only our business as brand ambassadors, but also really helping our reputation in every community and every neighborhood, every driveway, and that's what it's all about these days. But I think the FAIA really represents something more. As I mentioned, it really represents the best of Ford. And as we know, this has been, just let's say, an interesting, period of time over the last, 12 to 18 months for the industry. And you just look back, right? We're coming towards the end of the year, and this is the time of year everybody kind of recaps what went on. And if you just think about 2009, the economy slumped to almost Depression-era levels. The first half of 2009, we saw industry sales that fell to nearly half what they were the previous year. And obviously that makes it a real challenge, given that we eat a lot of capital in this business. Meanwhile, as you know, Chrysler filed for bankruptcy and then reemerged as part of FAIA. President Obama turned into the chief restructuring officer of General Motors. We won't say any more about that. I really like our plan. How about you? Toyota reported their first annual operating loss since World War II. And of course, the automotive, we love our competitors. We love to compete with them, right? The automotive supply base, as you know, is going through a very difficult time, and many of you in this room are helping us work our way through that. But they're facing some of the biggest challenges in the industry that they face. So we are really, if you think about it, we are living through history. We're living through history. And that's very, very exciting. It's very, very exciting. It could be intimidating, but it also can be very, very energizing. And even knowing that we got a lot of challenge in front of us, we also know that there's nothing like the Ford team. And when you look at what you and the rest of the team have been able to do, yes, we are the team that didn't take the taxpayers' money. But it's really interesting. People come up to me and they say, we're really glad you didn't take our money. And I said, well, let me correct you. We really do want your money. I want you to buy one of our products. But beyond that, we're also a team that continues to work our One Ford plan and really just staying doggedly focused on running that plan and balancing production with demand, and consistently doing that in the past 3 years and really getting kind of disciplined. It's made a tremendous difference for the company. And as you know, we've seen the financials, right? The profit that we just recorded in the third quarter. And as I said, we should really celebrate that. We should really, savor the moment and the progress that we've made. But at the same time, we obviously have to continue to focus on what's making a difference and really concentrating on those elements of the business that we can control. Right? It's easy to worry about the things we can't control, but it's much easier to focus on the things we can control. And of course, the things we can control, among others, are delivering world-class and outstanding products to our customers, and also at the same time remaining disciplined in our cost reduction efforts. And to me, it's not so much cost reduction; it's really about eliminating waste and becoming world-class in doing that. So for us, I think in this sea of tumultuousness that we see in the industry, it's all about not getting distracted. And all we have to do is look at some of our competition in terms of their plans, how they're changing their plans, even as we speak, and just thinking about us not getting distracted and really remaining focused on our one forward plan. And it's so critical in this environment. And the bottom line is volatility is the new norm. And I think as an organization, we're coming to embrace volatility, and that's a good thing. That is a very good thing. And as we think about the volatility, we're facing a lot of competition, stronger than ever competitors, such as the Korean automakers, Hyundai and Kia making big inroads this year that we never thought they would. Plus, we're really competing to win over customers whose confidence in our economy, and also at the same time, their employment sometimes is in doubt. All you have to do is look at the unemployment numbers today, over 10% for the first time in many, many years. So, we can do this. We can absolutely do this. We can overcome these challenges. I am absolutely convinced of it today, just as I was 3 or 4 years ago, and just as I know I will be in another 3 or 4 years. That this is the team that's going to overcome that, and we are going to be one of the top 3 world-class global automotive makers. And you can all have our views on it, but my view is going to be Toyota, VW, and Ford, and hopefully not necessarily in that order. That's going to be up to us. That's going to be up to us. Now, you might sit there and say, well, how can I be so sure? Well, because we truly are, as tonight's event really shows us, one team, and one team making a difference. I mean, just walking into the event tonight and spending time, you can feel the energy, you can feel the connection, you can feel the sense of community. And this is an environment that's the worst environment for generations for this business. So it's really, really amazing. And you really are part of the team that's helping to deliver the biggest product and new powertrain rollout in our company's history, the biggest. And that includes strong new products, obviously, this year, such as the 2010 Taurus and the EcoBoost engines, that, of course, deliver V8 power, reduce the fuel economy. I have 2 really cute stories for you. One is I had a Taurus show. When I first got it, I was driving home, and I was driving down the main street that my house was on, and I was maybe going a little faster than the speed limit. So I'm going up, and all of a sudden I see a police cruiser going the other way. So I turn off into my street, go into my garage, open it up, park the car, and then I get the groceries out of the trunk. And all of a sudden the police cruiser shows up in front of my car. And of course these 2 policemen, very stern-looking gentlemen, amble up the driveway, and they look at me and they go, "Is that the new Taurus?" I gave you a cup of coffee, but I got a better story, because where's Upward? Where are you? Raise your hand. Okay, there he is. We were talking earlier, and he said, you had a show, and I said, I had a show, and I told my story. He says, well, I had a story too. He said, I really love punching the engine. I'm like, yeah, well, you've got to make sure you don't get a ticket. And he said, I did get a ticket. But he said, I was really glad to pay it, because I really like my show. So, it's all about a great product, right? World-class product. And, we also have, when you look at the investments that we're making in the business while others are cutting back, we're investing $14 billion in advanced technologies to to improve fuel economy just in the next 7 years alone. And that's just in the U.S. That's just in the U.S. We also announced, as you know, our $550 million investment at our Michigan assembly plant, which used to be called Michigan Truck Plant. And you can see why we renamed it, because we're going to be producing the Focus there as well as the electric Focus. But I'm sure Derek may have a few things to say about the products going forward. But you know, I can tell you, a lot of us have lived through the downturns in the past, where you know, we've cut product programs, and you know, when the recovery came a couple of years later, we were kind of kicking ourselves because, gee, we could have used a few new products. And we have been absolutely resolute as a management team to make sure that we continue to invest in world-class products during this period, and we are starting to see the results from that. So we really are changing as a company. Just, you know, think about the past 3 or 4 years in terms of how we're running the business culturally, how, you know, Alan has driven a lot of the cultural change in the company of working together. It really is a different place. Still a lot more work to do, but hopefully you're feeling that. And you know, behaviors are so important in terms of how we conduct ourselves. And you know, the elements of a lot of this culture comes from many of you in the room tonight. And the reason I say that is because, you know, I had a chance to spend about 4 years in Asia. When I was in Japan, but I traveled extensively. I traveled a lot. You know, flying out, give me a break. You know, it taught me a great deal. It taught me a great deal. It taught me in Japan, for instance, where language was a barrier. I didn't speak Japanese, and I really realized the true importance of listening, and listening to listen, not listening just to be polite and think about what I'm going to say to respond to the person. Because you only really learn when you listen.